Hey guys, so we're back with another episode of Tacoimposters. Let me just set a timer for 3 minutes or something. 42 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes. Fuck this clock. Like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so there you go. Got it. So it looks like it's gonna work. I don't know. I don't even know if you can see me. I think you can. I'm not sure though. If I'm cut off or not. I really can't tell. It looks like it, because if I look into the camera, right here, it looks like my head is there. Oh no, where's the autofocus to make it focus? Manual focus. Okay. And then you just infinity, right? It looks like I am being seen. I don't know. It looks like it. It's got the top of it, it's got a little bit on the top. Anyway, if I don't get seen, I don't know. The list of things that go right here. So, I don't even know if you can hear me, but hopefully. I think so. Where is it now? Okay. I did the wrong thing here. Cancel. Not hours, minutes, damn it. Is it 40 minutes now? So yeah. Yeah, so I got a, well, I traded with a guy for, for a Sega Genesis and a Xbox 360. I don't know. I've always wanted a Sega Genesis. Or not always, but I've over the years, like, wanted more Sega Genesis. Hey, I mean, it's a system. I was never like, oh, give me it right now, but I was always like, if I could get one, I would get one. Xbox 360? No. It's always either PS3. Here's the thing, everybody would always tell me PS3 or Wii, and they tell me all the things why one's better than the other and all that. But they'd always have a Xbox 360 for some reason. They'd always have an Xbox 360, and I'd always kind of wonder, be like, but why? Why is that why? I'm outside, so if you can hear all the wind and the dogs barking and the cars going off and car alarms going off and all that stuff, sorry. Bear with me, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah. I always heard they had better games, the 360, than the PS3, but I don't know. I never played one. Well, I did. I played a bit of one. I played, Grand Theft Auto 4 because my cousin had Grand Theft Auto 4. And other than that, I didn't really play. I ended up playing Halo Reach. And that's it. Really. There are a few other things here and there that I messed around with, a few little, but that's it. That's it. I never really played in-depth versions, no. I didn't like, in-depthly any other games. That's it. Pretty much. Well, and the Sega Genesis, I always liked it. I always thought it was really cool because it was the first video game I can ever remember playing at my dentist. Played Sonic 2, which the guy gave me Sonic 2 when I traded it. And I was like, oh, I thought it was Sonic 1, and then I was like, oh, it's Sonic 2. Interesting. That game is hard. Okay, Scott the Waz made a video about this. He basically was talking about how, I think it was in the first one, but it applies to the second one too. It applies to all three of them, really, let's be honest, of the originals on Genesis. The fact that you'll be like spinning, going really fast, and then it'll fast, and it'll be like, oh, rolling around at the speed of sound, go really fast, right? And then it'll stop, and you'll be like, oh, we got a platform now, and I'll be like, but why? I don't remember which level it is, but it's the one after the casino. No, the casino has some of it too. The casino level or the second casino level second level in the casino world in Sonic 2 is off before, like, it stops you and then has these, like, moving platforms. You got a platform over them precisely, and then it's just dumb. It's just, like, why? It's just why. It's not the worst. It could be worse. but it's just bad. I don't know why, but it's just bad. As far as I'm concerned, it's almost unplayable in the sense that, like, oh my god, frustratingly wise. It's playable, it's fine. It's frustrating wise. Like, you just want to start. You're like, oh my god, take him and stab this to my eyes. It's so bad. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so. God, it's bad. Just in how frustrating it is. It's not really even that bad a game, it's just why. I think I was listening to a really old episode of Steel Podcast. 36, 37, 35, somewhere in that range. Anyway. From like 2014, it was crazy. Anyway. And they're talking about good, or someone asked a question, good, what's it called? Master System games, and it's like, and Pat's talking about how, Sonic, and then Ian goes, yeah, it's a completely different game, and I'm like, really? And Ian goes, yeah, there's no platforming, and I was like, that sounds like such a, oh, no, sorry, there's no speed, it's a platformer. I'm like, it's so much better. I think Sonic works better. I know Sonic is a speed, fast, run around, running guy, but I think he works better as a platformer. It works better as a platformer. Yeah, I think so. At least the first two. I haven't played much of the third one. I haven't played much of anything past that, really. But yeah, I think it's better as a platformer. You know? Not that it's a terrible game, it's just, I don't know. Just, to me, it doesn't. It's exactly why my brother hates the series. He's like, it's stupid. You're running. You just want to keep holding left. I mean, right. You want to keep holding right. And then it stops you and goes, oh no, you got to jump, platform. It's just dumb. That's why you can't play it. I'm like, wow, really? Yes, it's stupid. I always liked it. I remember playing the first one, the Flash game version of it. Yes. I remember playing the Flash game version of it. The first one. I mean, it was decent. It was a Flash conversion. They had a few of those. They had like a few Mario games like that, and a few Sonic, and a few other games that were like, all they were just conversions of, into Flash versions of actual games. Which is really impressive when you think about it, but I don't know. Now I look back and I'm gonna go, this is not great. For what it is, it's cool, but it's not something I ever want to play again. You know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah, so, yeah. So, yeah. Video games are sort of done. Those are video games I've been doing before. And I need or I would like a component cable, like a AV cable for the Xbox, because they didn't have one. But because it's the Xbox. Okay, it didn't have a hard drive and it didn't have component cable. It was a Xbox Series. No. I'm not gonna make that mistake. Xbox 360 S. Slim. I think it is slim. Just they don't think they officially ever called it slim. It's called the S. What else is S going to stand for? Anyway, and so it what's it called? And so it has like a different hard drive than the first model of Xbox. So I'm going to see in my local game store if they have a AV cable and a hard drive. They probably will have an AV cable. I don't know though much about the hard drive. I feel like they're not going to have a hard drive for some reason. And if they do, it's going to be like stupid small, like 2 freaking build, like a gig, or no, I'm gonna say like 10 gigs or something for like $50 or $60, and I'll be like, it's so dumb, because it's terrible if you're taking, dollars to gigs per dollar, or dollars per gig, not good, but So I put in a flash drive into the front of it so I can use that as a storage device for now. But if I want to play original Xbox games, which I have two, which are I have one of the Medal of Honor games. I don't remember which one, and I have Halo 2, and Medal of Honor one is impossible. I can't beat the first level. I'm sorry, but the Halo 2, I got pretty far in Halo 2 actually. Before I just was like, gave it up, and that's what I traded my Xbox, original Xbox. That thing's a damn brick, and it's stupid. And all the games you ever want to play on it can be played on an Xbox 360, or on a PC, or some other way, or Game Pass, or something else. There's just a better way. Okay, I'm going to say different way, not necessarily better way of playing it. So what's the difference, right? You don't need an original Xbox. It's one of the systems that you just never actually need to own. It's just a brick. It's literally a brick. It's like 1,000 pounds. Short was the most powerful system at the time, but God, nobody really wants to own that specific system. It's like everybody I've ever talked to or ever heard talk about the original Game Boy always says Game Boy, right? The original Game Boy is amazing. It's just probably the original Game Boy is probably the worst way to play the Game Boy. And it is. It's got great games. It's just the worst way to play it is the original Game Boy. And modding Game Boy is not hard, so people just mod the original Game Boy and done. Backlight, done. So. Yeah. So, that's what I've been doing. I need to get one of those. Alright, I want to get one of those so I can play. Because I got, okay. I got, this is a sneak peek for what I'm going to be playing, the Simpsons game. That's a good game. That's a really good game. I played it on Wii. It's not actually that bad on Wii. It does that thing where it, like, doesn't need to be on Wii. I think I've talked about this before. The Wii was very much like, oopsies, don't let that fall. Like 3D movies, where there were two types of them. There were like, this works in 3D, where it's like, okay, this pops out, this shows, this expresses very well with the 3D. And then the other one where it's like, this is just stupid. This is just dumb. Everything is in 3D. Why? Why? Why is this in 3D? This is just dumb. But where the Wii is different is, the Wii has this like, oh, we're going to use motion. And then the other one's like, yeah, we just don't have motion. Which basically could have just used any other controller to play this game. But we're going to like, maybe waggle here and there, or maybe do something here and there, like, or like, click, do some, like, or it's like, really? But you, whatever. So on the Wii, it wasn't horrible. It just didn't have much Wii-ness of it. Like, it didn't need to be on the Wii. That's all I'm saying. So on the 360, I feel like it was just as good. It's just, I think it'll be a better experience to play. Anyway, I want to play that. I want to make videos for that. And if I want to beat that game. I don't know if I can, but I want to beat it. So yeah. Yeah, so I need an AV cable for that. I don't have an HD capture card. Or a capture device. Capture card, capture device. No, I don't. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. I already paid like $100 for one, so crazy. The other one's about that much, so. Or even more, even. I don't know. But yeah, so that's that video game stuff. Tell me any recommendations for video games to play. No, don't fall. Either on Sega Genesis or on Xbox 360. So yeah. Okay. Then I found like an old, I don't know, it's not really mine, it's my dad's, I think. Yeah, but yeah. It was a Flash comic, right? And I was just thinking about the Flash because, well, I was listening to another CU podcast episode where they were talking about the Flash, and they were talking about like old, or they were talking about the TV show, I think, coming out, or something like that. Or they were talking about the Avengers, or they were talking about, or they could have been talking about how Quicksilver is going to be in, not the Avengers, Justice League. Maybe? I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah. Anyway. And so, I just thought, and he's like, what's a good villain for the Flash? Like, how do you? And I thought, I'm like, yeah, think about it, okay? He's the guy who runs fast. How are you going to stop this guy? How are you going to stop this guy? Like, what's a good villain, right, for this guy? I have no idea. I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't know what you do. Cause it's like, I don't know. Yeah, smart him and kill him. I don't know. It's kind of dumb in my opinion. And DC has two fast superheroes. It has Flash and Quicksilver. Why do you need two? I don't know. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Because I think I'm like, but the Hulk doesn't have anything, but he's at least strong, and he can, like, there's a, like, something to him he's better. I don't know. Just hard to, like, explain. But anyway, I never read the Flash comics. I don't know, I'm not a big comic book person. I never was. Oh, sorry, today is Friday the 13th of August 2021. So that means tomorrow, the 14th of August 2021, is Free Comic Book Day. Look, I think Free Comic Book Day, the only thing it's good for is to bring people into a comic book shop. The comics that they have are pretty, no offense, they're pretty awful. I'm sorry. I got them not last year, the year before, 2019, because last year they didn't have one. And I'm like, oh. I read them and went, oh. And no, they're not good, like, pull in, like, oh, I want to read more of this. No, they're just stupid. I'm sorry. They got an Infinity War, or Infinity Gauntlet, or Infinity something or other. I think it was Infinity War, like, comic, like, it wasn't even a good teaser. It was terrible. I don't know, I hope tomorrow, because I might have to do something tomorrow, but I might also be able to go to the comic book shop, I'm not sure. And even if I can't go to the ones I want to go to, I could go to the one near me. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure yet, though. Yeah, so, I mean, Free Comic Book Day is good if you don't really like comics, but you're okay with, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out a good way of like, a good reason for it, but I don't think there really is any. Kids, maybe? Like, young kids, I don't know. Some of the comics are very geared to young kids, so. But that's the thing. My dad bought one issue of The Lone Ranger, and, I mean, it was dark. The Lone Ranger got strangely dark. It did. I read the 2019 comic, like, or I read the first one anyway, and I was like, this is, like, weirdly dark and, like, odd and just strange. Just very strange. Not necessarily bad. I'm not gonna say it's, like, horrible. It's just kind of bad. It's not. It's just, at least not what I like. And then I looked into that one. And I was like, it's also dark. The one that he bought. He got it for $1. So what's the difference here? He just wanted one. He was like, cool, great. Because they had a special where where you're allowed one, but if you bought literally anything in the comic book shop, right? You could get the rest of them. So, or you could pick up 2 or something, and then 3 or something. I don't know. You could pick up the rest of them if you had bought something. So we bought something. Never really read the comic. I might read it, maybe. I don't know. I have a lot of random comic books. Like, I have a certain, like, story arc of Batman, and then I have, like, a few random issues of Spider-Man, and then I have random issues of, like, 2 random issues of G.I. Joe, newer G.I. Joe stuff. Weird. Sorry, I'm gonna say it right now. Then I have, like, a few little things here and there. I don't even know what they are. They're, like, Voltron and just cool, I guess. I don't know. And then there's, and then I have, like, a few Archie comics. The bigger ones are cooler than the smaller ones. I'm sorry. Those tiny digest things, the, like, things that are, like, the notepad size, forget it. Frig, I hate those. Not that I hate them, but not as good as the bigger ones. And then I have a few of the bigger ones. And then I have, like, a random, I have a Looney Tunes comic, I have a Disney comic, and I have a weird Sonic comic. I'm sorry. Oh, I also have, like, a set of X-Men comics, and I have a set of comics I never opened. 2, actually. 2. That's the problem with comics. The problem with comics is the fact that there's just, where do you start, where do you go? It's just dumb. It's there's no way of actually reading them off ever. It's not possible. But yeah. So there's comics, and then I have a book that's like a flash. That's graphic. Well, no, it's like it's a book. It's like the year's best graphic novels, comics, and mangas and comics, something like that. From like 2004, 2005, something like that range. And the only reason I like read, I had that, I picked it up is because I saw that it had Scott Pilgrim versus the World in it, and I was like, I'm gonna read that. It's gonna be great. And then it was a teaser, unless that's how short the thing is. I doubt it. It was like 10 pages maybe. I was like, what? That's no way. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's a good thing. I heard. Not that I think it's great, but it's okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about it. It is what it is. Not that it's actually awful. I don't know. I just don't know. Graphic novels. Was Watchmen a graphic novel? I think so. Anyway. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wish it was longer, but whatever. So yeah. Not that I would have read it. I'm the best at starting a book, or a comic, or whatever, and then just going, poofing off the page, never finishing it. Never. Honestly, because they're just too long. And it's not even that they're too long. It's that each chapter is just too long. Literally, I would rather have a book with 1,500 chapters, okay? But them all being like 2 pages long. I'd read every single one of them. I get the false sense that it's like, oh, this is so much, like I'm reading, I'm getting through more. I don't know how to explain it. Or it's not as daunting, I guess. I don't know. So yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah. That's just my thing. Anyway, that's my thing. And then I was thinking about all this, like, I used to have all these, like, toys, and they were, like, the little, like, rubber, I don't know how to explain them. They're the rubber, like, toy animals. The small little ones, like this big. You know, cows or chickens or dogs and cats, or... I'm not talking about the oh, what are they called? I can picture them right now. I don't know what they're called, but they're the German ones. They're like, not the big ones. You know, those kind? No, what's it called ones? The tiny little ones. The cheap ones. Well, it's because my dad knew someone who would always, every Christmas, would get us like a set, like a play set. It wasn't really a play set, but it was just a mat, and then a bunch of toys. A bunch of the, like, thingies. What are they called? A bunch of the figures, like the little animals. I remember playing with them a lot. I liked them. So many of them. It's crazy how many I had. Because what I remember was going to places like the Biodome, right? I went to a Biodome and just like being like, and seeing the tubes. They were like square tubes, and they had like the earth on top, and you could spin the earth around, right? It was just half an earth, like this, and then like that, and you spun it, and you could see different places. Anyway, those, they weren't like super expensive, but they were, oh, right here, what are they called? They're called, I'm gonna see. I don't know what it's called. No, they were not called Papa. Yes, what were they called? They were not called Papu. They were called. There was a different name for them. This is. I know exactly what these are. It's not Papu though. Papo. It's not Papo. I know it's not Papo, but that's what I remember. What are they called? Oh my god, they're called. They were the nice ones. They were the good, like, figurine things. I think the problem was that they couldn't do anything. So I was like, what? No, it's gotta be. Well, maybe. Apparently, there was a whole series called Papo. P-A-P-O. Papo. Papo? Papo? Pop. Oh, Papu. Anyway. Yeah, apparently. It's not what they're called. I know that's not what they were. They were something else. Well, this is exactly them, but they had a different name. There was like a German company, and anyway, yeah. So those were the expensive. And then there was the medium, which was like the tubular ones, and then there was the cheap ones. Now I don't know if those were actually cheap. Don't ask me if they're actually cheap, but they just to me seemed cheaper. I have no idea. Don't ask me. I have no idea. I don't know. Don't. I got them for free, so I didn't really care, and I was like, these are cool. But at the time, I was like between 5 and 8 years old, so like I was into that kind of thing. So yeah, not that they were the coolest thing. They were obviously cooler, better, nicer things. I wanted more things. I liked more, but they were interesting. To me, I don't know. They just felt. I find them again, and I'm like, these weren't that badly made, and they weren't. They were actually pretty good. I have none of the mats anymore. None of the mats anymore. None. But in the same vein, I got like a. They were like figures for Peanuts. I remember that. Yeah. No, yeah. This one. No, no. What was it called? What was the book called? Yeah, it was cool. Whatever. No, it was just. It was a big book, right? It was called. Oh, there it is. It's called My Big Books. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Okay. My Big Books. Okay. And it was cool, and it's in the same vein. So it's like just a big book, big thick cardboard pages. It had some comics in them, and then it had a play set and the figures. So yeah, that's cool. Those I think would need more articulation, but what can you do? So yeah, that's about that. And then okay, so I'm trying my Linux, right? I wanted to try Linux, right? Linux operating system on my computer, and I was like, oh yeah, I've always heard Pop OS was a good OS to try, and to be honest, it's not the best, but at least it has a more user-friendly, like, it's got a store, so it's got what's called a pop shop, and you can look for probably 98% of all the things you'll ever need, right? So, that's fine. And then you can use the terminal for the, like, 3 other things you'll need, maybe, like, 5 to 10 other things you'll need, but yeah. I was, like, I thinking it was either going to be, holy crow, this is the most complicated thing in the world, I'll never be able to figure any of this out. Or, oh, it's literally Mac OS in the sense that it's like, oh, you just do like, beep, beep, boop, boop, done, you have all the stuff you'll ever need. But I went in with this, like, thinking, though, that, like, okay, I thought it was going to be one of the two ends here, and then I went in with, like, but let me more assume that's going to be in the middle, and that's exactly what it was. It's like right in the middle where it's like you'll find most of what you want, but then you'll have to like mess around with it quite a bit, like quite a bit, like a significant amount. Which it's not the worst if you like just look up stuff. Most of the things are documented very well, so you know what's the harm in trying. So I tried it, and I'm like, oh, this is actually not that bad, and it's not. It's really not. It's actually more simple than I thought it was going to be, in the sense that I thought I was going to have to mess around a lot more in the terminal, but no. No, I just, oh, okay. So, and then with yeah, it's on my other so my other hard drive. So, and because that's a hard drive, not an SSD, it's a lot slower. It's not unusably slow, but it's certainly not fast. So, I mean, it's okay for what it is. It's fine, totally fine, totally fine. But yeah. So, because I was like, oh, what are the other good OS I've heard? Mint is very is also somewhat user friendly. Ubuntu, because Pop! OS is based on Ubuntu. Ubuntu. And I tried Ubuntu before, and I liked it for the few minutes I tried it. But yeah, so I was like, oh, well, let's get one that I've heard is very good. So that was good. So yeah, that's about that. So like Linux, because you can go with way more bare bones Linux, where it's like, oh my gosh, you need a terminal for everything, and you need to, you know, be a computer genius and computer science genius and all the tech, whatever. And then other times it's like, and other ones where it's like, that look and basically function basically like Mac OS. So, from what I've heard, I don't know. So. Apparently, Pop! OS is good for like productivity OSs. It's a good productivity OS. Linux, so it allows a lot of all this, like all the editing softwares and photo editing, video editing, you know, all that kind of stuff. So there are some weird Linux OSs too, man. There's like a Hannah Montana Linux. I did download that once, and I tried it in a virtual machine. It's just strange. Like, what was the point of it? I wonder sometimes what the point of it was. What, did you sell this bundle into something to sell the little girls? What was it? You know? I have no idea. I don't know. Because it's like legit. Like, Hannah Montana barfed onto an OS, and there you go. It's with the exact mentality of, oh, this is for like 11-year-old girls. Yes. 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 Because at the time there were two people. There were two singers that were huge, and it was Hannah Montana and Justin Bieber, and I'm surprised they never had a Justin Bieber OS Linux. They might. I don't know. I'm not sure though. So yeah, I'm not sure. I've never looked it up. I don't really care. Because those are the two that were for like little girls, like 11-year-old little girls, like 9 to 11. 9 to like 13, in that age range. I'm not saying dudes didn't like Justin Bieber, and I'm not saying dudes didn't like Hannah Montana, but I watched TV shows as a kid. But again, I've already explained why I watched some of the stupidest shows. I'm like, I watched some of the dumbest shows because I never wanted to turn off the TV. There were only like maybe 5 shows that I just would flat out not watch. I was like, nope. I won't do it. No, I can't. I cannot do this. No, I'm sorry. I refuse to watch this. And some of those were because my best friend was like, "This is a terrible show, blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, oh, it's terrible. It's so bad." And then I was like, right? But then other ones, there were other shows where I was like, "No, I will consciously never watch this. I don't want to watch this." For some reason, Ben 10 was one of them. I have no clue why I never watched Ben 10. I have absolutely no idea. None. But I've already talked about all that in depth before, but yeah. So Hannah Montana Linux. So I watched Hannah Montana just because it was on, right? There were some bad shows I watched, and movies. But the movies were only because I had maybe 150 movies I watched. Maybe, if that. I more like watched like 30 movies. I had about, I want to say 600, but I don't think that was true. I think it's more like half that, now that I think about it. But it could have been 600, I have no idea. And I would just recycle those over and over again, the like same 30 maybe. And then I would stop and like switch a few out of here and there. And I probably watched about 100 movies as a child. Over and over and over and over and over again. It's just so many times the same movies. A lot of Disney movies, but not always. So that's kind of what I did with TV shows. Where just because they were on, I would just watch shows. Like, I didn't care about them at all. Just because I never wanted to turn off the TV, ever. I was like, oh, I can not stop watching. I can just keep watching. So I watched some of them back, and I'm like, I never want to watch the show again. This is not good. And not because it's a terrible show. It's just because it has nothing. It just has nothing. Like, there's nothing wrong with the show. It's just I don't care. I just don't care. No. Like, I watched The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody after I watched Sweet Life on Deck. Sweet Life on Deck. That show holds up. That show holds up. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was like, oh, not as good. Oh. But I liked it a lot as a child, so I remember it back and I went, yeah, it's not bad. I can see why I liked it. I think it's just a little dark here. But yeah, let me see if I can turn on this light. Let me see. No. Light bulb dead. Yeah, light bulb's dead. Yeah, okay. Well, never mind then. Oh wait, let me see if I can get the part. Is there a soap in there? Never mind. I thought there was a light bulb I could pull out. Nope. Never mind. Oh, that's not fun. No. Whatever. So yeah. And then, okay, so then I tried watching Wizards of Waverly Place. I've gone into like in-depth detail about why I think that show is terrible, or why I think that show just is like so awfully, it's just bad. But we can go back and find something where I did talk about that. I don't remember what. I was even where I was doing that anyway. And so that show, okay. And I went and I was like, unless it gets better, right? Which is what happened with Swift on Deck, where I was like, the first like season and like 2 or 3 episodes were like not horrible, but hard to watch. I'm like, oh, does it get better? And it's like, oh, it gets so much better. And by the end, it's like actually a really good show. Anyway. And in the middle, there's like a middle point where it's like the best. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, I just couldn't get past the first, like, because I'm not the kind of person who skips lots of episodes. Oh, skip, like, you know, like animes where it's like, skip 101 to 114. Skip them all. So skip 13 episodes. And then skip 141 to 150. 141 to 153. And then skip 164 to 188. No. Skip 16 to 44. No. See, I'm not that kind of person. So I have to, at least with those shows, because I remember that show vividly. Now, from the first 4 episodes I watched, I was like, yeah, it's not the worst, but of rewatchability, it was like, oh, 2 episodes on deck, great. I can rewatch it again now. 3 Levels Zack and Cody, okay, there are a few episodes here and there, but